They built a life on faith, family, and forever, until forever broke. Meri Brown searched for love online, while Christine and Janelle clashed over how to hold the family together. And as Kody and Robyn packed their final boxes, one question shattered everything. Who really destroyed the dream, love, pride, or truth itself? It's the end of an era, but also the beginning of something no one expected. Part 1. But while Meri explored something new online, Kody and Robyn were facing their own reckoning, packing up what was left of a dream home that never felt like home. You could feel the tension. Robyn was trying to hold it all together, but Kody, he was furious about losing control. Because when a woman reclaims her power, the man who once held it feels the ground crack beneath him. Meri had spent years defending Kody, even when love had long left their marriage. But online, she found something unexpected: laughter, attention, and hope. Fans began noticing subtle changes: the makeup, the confidence, the sparkle. Meri's glowing again. She's finally free. But as Meri leaned into independence, Robyn and Kody's perfect image began to collapse. Kody and Robyn were packing up, leaving the mansion that once symbolized unity, except now it symbolized defeat. But there was no family left to move in. The dream of building one big house for 4 wives was gone. Now, even Robyn, his favorite, seemed tired. They weren't smiling anymore. You could see Robyn's stress every time she stepped outside. And just when Kody thought he could rebuild, Meri's new chapter went public. Fans exploded online. Everyone had an opinion. Some called it karma. Others called it liberation. Meri deserves the world. Kody's empire is crumbling poetic justice. Then came the twist no one expected. The man Meri was seeing wasn't who he said he was. An online romance turned into deception. But instead of breaking her, it awakened something even stronger. Because Meri wasn't going back, not this time. Kody was left with regrets, Robyn with fear, and Meri with freedom. She said, "I finally feel like I'm living for me." That's all she wanted. The fractured Brown family is now scattered emotionally and physically, but one thing unites them all: the past. And the question haunting every fan: will Meri ever truly forgive Kody? Weeks after Robyn and Kody moved, rumors began swirling again, this time about a new business Meri was launching. It wasn't about love. It was about legacy. Meri's the real comeback story. Meanwhile, Kody's world continued to shrink financially, emotionally, spiritually. The man who once had 4 wives now faced his reflection and his failures. Because sometimes losing everything is the only way to see who you really are. The sister wives saga isn't over. It's evolving. And this time, it's the women writing their own endings. What do you think? Did Meri's online journey empower her or expose her? Comment below your thoughts and theories. Part 2. For years, Christine and Janelle were more than sister wives. They were best friends, teammates in chaos, raising 12 children between them. But freedom came at a cost. When Christine moved to Utah to be closer to her kids, she thought Janelle would follow. Instead, Janelle stayed behind. Her reason? The younger kids still needed their father. And that's when Christine said the words that would start a war. Some of us are ready to move on. Others just can't let go. What was once friendship turned into frustration. Christine felt betrayed. Janelle felt judged. And the fans? They picked sides. Christine's right kids need love, not control. No, Janelle's just being practical. But deep down, both women were fighting the same battle: guilt. Guilt for leaving, guilt for staying, and guilt for believing Kody might still care. It wasn't always this way. Christine once called Janelle her anchor. Janelle called Christine her rock. But the pandemic years changed everything. Loyalties shifted, priorities broke. I'm not coming back, Janelle. Utah is my home now. It wasn't just distance, it was destiny pulling them apart. And beneath the polite smiles, something darker was brewing: resentment. The breaking point came during a private conversation, leaked online months later. I just wish you'd think about the kids more, Christine. And I wish you'd think about yourself. Those words shattered what remained of their bond. That was ice cold. Janelle's not wrong, though family matters. But then came the twist, and it changed everything we thought we knew. Weeks later, leaked DMs began circulating online messages, allegedly from one of Christine's older daughters. It turns out, Christine's comment wasn't about judgment, it was about loneliness. She wasn't criticizing Janelle for staying, she was begging her to visit. I didn't know that's how she felt. Maybe I overreacted. But by then the internet had already chosen its villain. Reunited for the kids, but not as the sisters they once were. Time may heal, but scars remind us where love once lived. They'll find their way back, they always do. It's sisterhood, not perfection. Christine and Janelle's story is more than a fight. It's a reflection of what happens when motherhood, independence, and loyalty collide. And maybe, just maybe, their next chapter will be written together again. The Sister Wives universe keeps evolving, but one thing stays the same: every choice has a cost. What would you choose, family roots or personal freedom? Comment your thoughts below Team Christine or Team Janelle. Subscribe for weekly deep dives into the Sister Wives fallout. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. After decades of devotion, Meri was finally ready to step into a world beyond Kody Brown. Her marriage was legally dissolved, her home was quiet, and for the first time in years, she was free. I'm not angry anymore, I just want peace. But peace had a price: loneliness. So when an online admirer called her the bravest woman on TV, Meri answered, what started as friendship soon became something more, or so she thought. Meanwhile, in Flagstaff, the cracks in the Brown sisterhood were deepening. Christine had rebuilt her life, remarried, re-energized, reborn. But when she encouraged Janelle to move closer to Utah for the kids, it sparked a firestorm. What seemed like a simple comment about staying closer to the kids became a symbol of their silent war. And at the center of it all, two women torn between motherhood and freedom. Once upon a time, they were unstoppable. They shared kitchens, secrets, and dreams. But as Kody's affection narrowed, so did their unity. It's not about favorites, it's about who's committed. Except, commitment started to look one-sided. Christine left to save herself. Meri stayed too long, and Janelle couldn't decide. Therapist was supposed to unite them. Instead, it buried their dream. By late 2024, things came to a head. Meri's online romance surfaced on Reddit threads with claims her suitor wasn't who he said he was. Fans rushed to defend her, while others mocked her for trusting again. "We love Meri, but she's too trusting. We just don't want her hurt." At the same time, Christine and Janelle's relationship reached breaking point. "Christine, you're holding on to something that's gone." Janelle, "And you're forgetting what family means." Two women, once allies, now divided by the very family they built. They're both right. No one wins when Kody's the common factor. Then came the twist no one saw coming. The man Meri was dating had vanished, but behind the scenes, a source revealed she was planning a women's retreat, not a reunion. Meri's focusing on healing. The dating story was never about finding a man, it was about finding herself. And in Utah, Christine quietly reached out to Janelle's daughter, Savannah, not for drama, but reconciliation. Sometimes healing doesn't come from apologies, but from distance. By 2025, the sister wives weren't wives at all. They were women, each rewriting her own story. This season isn't about plural marriage, it's about personal power. Meri's retreat became a hit. Christine launched a family podcast, and Janelle began filming solo projects about single motherhood. And yet, fans still ask, could they ever come together again? I miss them as sisters. They'll never be what they were, but maybe that's okay. In the end, Coyote Pass wasn't a failure. It was a metaphor. A dream that had to die, so the women could finally live. From Meri's heartbreak to Christine's rebirth and Janelle's quiet strength, the Brown women are no longer sister wives. They're survivors. The internet became the courtroom, and everyone had a verdict. Christine's just protecting her kids. No, Janelle's the only one who understands Kody's boys. Meri's caught in the middle again. Across fan pages, lines were drawn Team Freedom versus Team Family. On Reddit, thousands debated if plural love could ever survive modern independence. And when Christine's daughter, Mykelti, liked a post calling Janelle too soft, everything exploded again. But beneath the memes and the hashtags was a deeper question. Can sisterhood exist without shared pain? To understand today's chaos, you have to go back to when they still believed in the dream. 2010. The Browns go public on TLC. 2014. The legal divorce. Meri steps aside so Robyn can marry Kody. 2015. The catfish scandal. 2020. Pandemic isolation. 2021. 2024. The unraveling. Each year chipped away at unity, not with betrayal, but with exhaustion. And by the time Coyote Pass stood empty, the promise of one family was already a memory. Relationship experts say the Browns' collapse followed a classic pattern: emotional triangulation. When power shifts from one partner to another, alliances form and dissolve. In plural relationships, that tension multiplies. Christine's independence challenged the hierarchy. Janelle's neutrality sustained it. Mari's silence exposed it. Sometimes the loudest rebellion is simply walking away. 1 year later, the story feels different. Meri's retreat booked out for summer 2025. Christine's podcast trending on Apple Podcasts. Top 20. Janelle filming a new digital series about resilience and motherhood. They're not waiting for Kody's approval anymore. They've found their voices in laughter, in business, in peace. The Sister Wives legacy didn't end in heartbreak. It evolved into womanhood. So, what do you think? Was this the ending they deserved, or the one they created? Comment below your thoughts. Team Meri, Team Christine, or Team Janelle? Subscribe for the next deep dive. Robyn's breaking point inside the last move from Coyote Pass. Like, share, and join our weekly watch community. New episodes every Sunday night.